Hello, and welcome to Dogma Discussions. This is Vincent. This channel is all about talking about different types of dogma and how harmful and dangerous it can be. Primarily, I talk about religious dogma, but honestly, dogma is dogma. So if you have any thoughts about what I discuss here or anything else you want to put in the comments, put in the comments. I'll check them out and respond to them. What I do every time I put up a new video is I tell a story. I pick a subject, I tell a story, and it's from my own personal experiences with different types of dogma. I grew up evangelical, so there's a lot of stories about that and what growing up under that kind of dogma was like, different aspects of it. So share the video with somebody you think might enjoy it or benefit from it. Hit the like button, that helps me out with the YouTube algorithms. Subscribe, that helps me out as well. And hit the notification bell when you subscribe. But with no further delay, let's get started. So the story I'm going to talk about this time is the dogma of karma. Ready? Here we go. Let's talk about karma. No, not the true meaning of it from Eastern tradition, but the biblical you'll get yours version. Consider this verse from the book of Galatians, which is loosely translated as, "You reap what you sow." How many of us have heard that quotation? The scripture says that if you sow for the flesh, you'll reap its corruption, and if you sow to the Spirit, you'll reap everlasting life. Yet, is it the extended version that you most often hear? Not in my experience. In fact, I'm not sure that many people even realize that reaping what you sow is from the Bible. The idea of reaping what you sow is so common in popular culture that we even hear it reflected in a Willie Nelson song, in which he sings, "It ain't really that hard to understand. If you're going to dance, you got to pay the band. It's just a little old-fashioned karma coming down." So what's the danger if someone believes in this dogma of karma? Well, we might let ourselves not care about people. We may tend, therefore, to look for meaning where there is none, fail to recognize our power to change things, and believe that people who suffer deserve it. For example, I give you Nebuchadnezzar. The Babylonian king lived in the 7th century BC and laid siege to Jerusalem twice. The second time, destroying Solomon's temple and initiating a period of Babylonian dominance over Judea. If anyone deserves karma, he should. His story is relayed in the book of Daniel, written by a man who was taken along with other Hebrew youths as hostages. Now, King Nebuchadnezzar was not known for his kindness. In fact, he's famous for throwing Daniel's compatriots, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, into a furnace. Yet, the king is most well known for receiving his karma from God, who struck the potentate mad for a period of 7 years, during which time he lost his mind and ate grass like an ox. Yuck. Then, after this period of lunacy, he regains his senses, kingdom, and praises God. Nice and tidy, isn't it? It's a great story of karma, which most likely didn't occur. And what's the message? I remember as a child hearing this tale in Sunday school and wondering how a man could survive just eating grass. Obviously, I was missing the point that if a very powerful king can be brought low, all of the rest of us can as well. But why this punishment? Why eating grass like an ox? Why not be conquered and enslaved like he was doing to the people of Judea? Why did he get his kingdom back along with his sanity? Did he treat people better after that? Not from what we know. So how does the karma of reaping what you sow even make sense in this case? It doesn't, except in the world of, quote, God works in mysterious ways, unquote. And it's only the punishment part upon which we're supposed to focus anyway. In this vein, the book of Proverbs offers another generalized sentiment that pride goes before the fall. Of course, that's also a truncated version of the original scripture, which states that pride goes before destruction and an arrogant spirit before a fall. Yet, what about those people who have suffered some kind of misfortune? Is it really because of karma? Was Christopher Reeves prideful and arrogant? Did he deserve what he received? That poor man, he suffered terribly for riding a horse. I would hope that most would agree that it was a freak accident. Not if you believe in karma. Then you have to look for meaning in the tragedy. The words quadriplegic and paraplegic have the same Greek root, plague, which means to strike. For the believers, I guess you could say that a person like Christopher Reeves was struck down by heaven, like Zeus sending a thunderbolt as some kind of punishment. Yet, is that a fair assessment? Aren't there others, wicked people, who are much more deserving of karma? And what about the homeless, the prostitutes, the drug addicts living on our streets? Do they deserve their lives? What about our veterans, many of whom also end up homeless or in jail? Are their lives the result of karma? Or could it be that something else is going on? I live in an area with a lot of homelessness and street corner prostitution. In the mornings, riding my bike to work, I pass by many. I, being human, am not immune to the feelings of disgust and frustration at the way they've taken over our streets and our parks, leaving behind a trail of used needles, among other things. Yet, I remind myself that they are human beings, deserving of respect. Thus, I decide that instead of breezing by without a glance, I will speak to them. Every morning and afternoon, my commute is filled with greetings to those on the streets. Sometimes these salutations are returned and others not, but I'm undaunted in my commitment to do it. One morning, riding along on my bike, I see a scary-looking man. No shirt, bald, tattoos decorating his torso and face, posturing as he walks, looking past me with a scowl. As I approach, though, I'm determined to greet him. I watch his face closely. No eye contact is returned. My gaze remains fixed, and I'm just about to open my mouth when he looks up, smiling, and calls out, "Good morning." I smile and return the greeting. Good morning. That's been my address to people on these streets for quite some time. Could it be that I started this relationship with him weeks ago? Would that be considered good karma for those who believe in such things? Or is it really just personal choice? Two people deciding to greet each other without needing any kind of universal woo-woo spirituality as an explanation. A couple of years ago, I was visiting Portland, Oregon. It's a beautiful city and has many homeless. If you wander downtown, in particular to the Pearl District or the area near Burnside Bridge or along the waterfront, you will see the destitute lying passed out on the sidewalks or sleeping in doorways. One becomes so accustomed to being approached for money that it's easy to respond callously. Yet, even when saying no to their request, I still endeavor to remain respectful. One reward for this approach will stay with me forever. It has been a long day of walking around downtown by myself. I've been in and around Pioneer Square, along the Willamette, all throughout Pal's bookstore, eaten at Pizza Schmitza, and am heading towards my final destination, Voodoo Donuts, before returning to my hotel. Let me take you to that moment. The streets are packed with tourists. A commuter train whooshes by. Cars and bicycles crowd the roads. People walking ebb and flow around the different obstacles on the sidewalks, including light poles, signs, and message boards advertising the culinary offerings from restaurants and bars. Yet, what they don't veer around are the homeless. They merely pass by these men and women who are unseen, unheard, and unwanted. Those discarded by a society which lacks both the understanding of how to help and the will to do so. My destination puts me in the path of a man in his 30s. He lies on a large, filthy comforter, which is pushed up against the unforgiving concrete of a storefront. He is small and unwashed, wears shabby clothes, and averts his eyes when I look at him. Yet, passing by, I hear a small voice call out, "Hello, sir." At that moment, I could have merely walked on as everyone else around me has, but I stop and turn to him, fully expecting to be prodded for money. "Hey, how are you doing?" I ask. He looks up at me with friendly blue eyes and responds, "Fine. Thank you for acknowledging me." I smile and answer, "Of course. You take care of yourself." And I turn and continue on my way. As I sit here writing in the comfort of my home, those words echo in my thoughts. Thank you for acknowledging me. And I wonder, is he reaping what he's sown? Or what if he suffered such trauma in his life, like so many others, that it's affected his ability to function in ordinary society? How would we know? Perhaps the answer is for us as a species to grow up and leave behind childish, superstitious ideas, such as karma or that people's suffering comes from God's will, so that we can come together and strategize and find solutions to the problems we face. That would be more productive than letting our subconscious tell us that it's okay not to care about our fellow citizens, or that our rewards in life are somehow deserved. We must reject the soothing nature of the bullshit dogma of karma in order to advance and grow as ethical human beings. That's my story. Thank you for listening. Again, this is Vincent from Dogma Discussions. Please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave me a comment, and share this video. Thank you. Until next time, goodbye.